Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a really incredible story. We're unpacking the heartwarming Hindi film Chain Kuli Ki Mein Kuli. You know, this movie just perfectly weaves together the high-stakes world of international cricket, the power of self-belief, and that universal search for a found family. It's the story of an orphan named Karan, and honestly, it's a beautiful reminder of where true strength actually comes from. I am super excited to guide you through the magic within today. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because, this premise sounds like an absolute impossible dream, right? How exactly does a 13-year-old orphan go from living in complete obscurity to becoming the literal savior of the Indian national cricket team? It's wild. But to understand this crazy trajectory, we really have to start at the very beginning, in a place that was, well, anything but magical.
You bloody basket. Eggs without a rooster. This is not your auntie's house. This is John Cockett's orphanage. So that is the harsh reality of our protagonist, Karan. He lives under the oppressive thumb of the orphanage warden John Cockade, and the kids, terrifyingly, yet pretty aptly, nickname this guy Hitler. He's strict, he's mean, and he literally forces the kids to scrub floors on Sundays instead of playing. It's a dreary, really bleak environment, and it establishes exactly why Karan spends his days just looking up at the sky, dreaming of a way out.
Karan's daily life is just a constant battle. Not only does he have to avoid the wrath of the warden, but he also has to dodge the local orphanage bully, this older kid named Raghav who's constantly asserting this dominance. But you know, beneath all this chaos, Karan has one fundamental, deeply vulnerable desire. He doesn't want fame or money or anything like that. Whenever prospective parents visit the orphanage, Karan is always trying to stand at the very front. Because his ultimate dream is incredibly simple. He just wants a mummy and a daddy to take him away and love him.
Now, every great fable needs a catalyst, right? And in this film, it's the MacGuffin of our story, the magic bat. So one day, while rummaging through some donated toys, Karan finds an old cricket bat, and it's marked with the year 1983. Through the stories told by the orphanage caretaker, Karan becomes absolutely convinced that this is the exact bat used by the legendary Kapil Dev during his historic 175-run innings in the 1983 World Cup. Now, to a 13-year-old boy who is just desperate for hope, this isn't just a piece of wood. It takes on a totally mythical status. To him, it is literally a magic bat that grants whoever wields it the power of a cricket god.
Let's move along and see how this builds, because the pacing of this story is just phenomenal. Almost immediately after finding the bat, Karan gets roped into a street cricket game by the bully, Raghav. So Karan swings the bat and hits the ball so incredibly hard and high that it smashes right through the window of a tall building. And when you know it, the man whose window he breaks just happens to be the national cricket coach, who is totally desperate right now because the Indian team is on a losing streak against Pakistan. The coach sees Karan's unbelievable swing, brings him to the team captain Varun, and literally within days, this boy is drafted to open the batting for Team India. It is a gloriously rapid ascent. Actually, I want to pause on this number for just a second. 13. That really highlights the sheer absurdity and wonder of this whole situation. The national coach actually has to verify that there is no minimum age requirement to play on the national team, noting that, hey, a 14-year-old once played for Pakistan. So a 13-year-old child is stepping onto the pitch with millions watching on television, getting ready to face down the world's most terrifying, aggressive, fast bowlers. It's crazy!
So Karan is suddenly thrust into a world he literally cannot even comprehend. Think about it. On one hand, his entire reality is scrubbing the hard floors of the orphanage every single Sunday, and on the other, he's suddenly living in a massive suite in a 5-star hotel with Captain Varun. The contrast is hilarious but also super heartwarming. When Karan is left alone, he uses the phone to summon what he calls the room service deity, ordering 10 ice creams, tandoori chicken, burgers, noodles, pizzas, the works. Yet he is so innocent that he actually asked Varun if he has to clean the entire hotel floor himself to pay for it, just because that's the only reality he's ever known.
And this brilliantly illustrates the duality of Karan's character. On the pitch, he is an absolute titan, but back in the hotel room, he is still very much a child who needs guidance. Karan doesn't even know how to tie his own shoelaces for his cricket cleats. Captain Varun actually has to sit down and patiently teach him. He says, make one egg, make a second egg, and pull them through. It's this really beautiful mentorship moment where Varun steps into a father figure role, and it really grounds this larger-than-life sports story in a deeply human connection. So, armed with his newly tied shoes and his magic bat, Karan steps up to the plate.
And let me tell you, his debut is nothing short of phenomenal. Facing a massive target from the Pakistani team, Karan just starts hitting massive sixes right out of the gate. The commentators are stunned. The opposing team is completely baffled. Karan scores 117 not out, securing a historic and desperately needed win for Team India. His magic bat seems to be working perfectly, bringing him instant fame, the admiration of the whole country, and, honestly, most importantly to Karan, the genuine affection of Captain Varun.
It's an incredible high for everyone. The team is winning, the country is celebrating. But we have to ask a pretty pivotal question here. What happens when the magical crutch is suddenly destroyed? Because, as we know in any great explainer of a hero's journey, the hero must eventually face their absolute greatest challenge without their armor.
Right before the most crucial final match, tragedy strikes. The jealous bully from the orphanage, Raghav, somehow manages to get his hands on Karan's bat. Fueled by resentment and believing that the bat is literally the only reason for Karan's success and fame, Raghav deliberately and completely shatters the 1983 magic bat. It is a totally devastating physical and psychological loss for Karan. His anchor, his soul's source of confidence, is just reduced to splinters.
The panic that sets in is absolute. Karan is hit with this heartbreaking realization saying, "Without my magic bat, I am nothing. I am just a 13-year-old orphan. I cannot face fast bowlers." Karan even attempts to literally run away from the stadium. The pressure is just too immense. He truly, deeply believes he has no inherent talent, no worth, and absolutely no ability to stand up to these giant professional athletes without that piece of wood protecting him.
So, the crucial point is what happens next. Captain Varun corners the fleeing Karan and delivers what is really the core message of our entire explainer. There was no magic in that bat. The magic is in you. Without your belief, that bat was nothing. Boom, Varun shatters the superstition right there. He tells Karan that the bat didn't hit those sixes. Karan's own arms, his own timing, and his own sheer will did. It is a massive thematic shift for the story, moving away from relying on external superstitions to finally realizing true internal self-belief.
Armed with this new, albeit pretty fragile self-belief, Karan walks back out onto the pitch for the final ball. He is using a regular bat now, and the reality of the situation is frankly terrifying. The fast bowler throws a really dangerous ball, and Karan takes a painful hit. But he doesn't give up. He pushes right through the fear and the pain, runs down the pitch, and secures the winning run for Team India. He realizes in front of the entire world that the strength was his all along. He succeeds entirely on his own merit.
Following this completely triumphant climax, we get the resolution Karan has literally been waiting for his entire life. Varun and his girlfriend Malini sit Karan down and ask to adopt him forever. And true to his character, Karan immediately starts negotiating. It is hilarious. He demands no scolding, 24-hour TV, the latest video games, unlimited ice cream, pizza, an AC room, and a bicycle. He's totally acting like the superstar he just became on the field.
But then, we hit the real emotional punchline of the story. After listing off all those extravagant demands, Karan looks at Varun and Malini and just says, "I don't want any of this. I just want a mummy and daddy." Man, all the fame, all the cricket records, the five-star hotels, none of it meant as much as the simple human connection he had been craving since day one at the orphanage. He finally found his family.
Which brings us to a really crucial question I want to leave you all with today. Are the magic bats in our own lives helping us fly, or are they keeping us from realizing that the power is actually already within us? I mean, we all have our crutches, right? Superstitions, routines, or just external things we think we desperately need in order to succeed. But as Karan's incredible journey shows us, true magic isn't something you find. It's something you already possess. You just have to believe in it. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope